Friends, you already know that Jupiter is the king planet of our solar system, which is larger than all the other planets in size and characteristics. In fact, if someone were to look at our solar system from afar, they would only see the Sun and Jupiter. All other planets would seem like space junk. You can estimate Jupiter's size by the fact that even if it were to swallow all the other planets in the solar system twice over, there would still be space left inside it. And just as we know Jupiter is the biggest, it's also the most dangerous. It's clearly stated that Jupiter is the most dangerous planet for humans. If a person were to go to Jupiter, they would die from its dangerous radiation even before reaching the uppermost cloud layer. So, calling Jupiter the most dangerous planet in the solar system is probably not wrong. So friends, if we want to understand Jupiter properly, we need to start its story from the beginning. We need to go back in time and see how Jupiter was formed, why it was formed, and what would happen if Jupiter didn't exist. Would the presence or absence of Jupiter make any difference to our solar system, or is it baseless? So, let's go back in time and start the story of Jupiter. Jupiter, it was the first planet to form in our solar system. It is believed that 4.6 billion years ago, there was nothing in our solar system. There were just large clouds of gas that started to contract. This contraction led to the birth of our Sun and simultaneously Jupiter. And you know that our Sun is a star. When a new star is born, a disk of dust forms around it, called the protoplanetary disk. Its name indicates its meaning, a disk that forms planets. This disk remains around a star for 5 to 10 million years before dissipating. But before leaving, it creates many planets that then orbit the star. Something similar happened with our Sun. When our Sun was born, there was a dust disk around it, where many matters began to form and collide. And it was this collision that led to the beginning of Jupiter's formation. Jupiter formed first, and that is why it is the biggest. Since all planets are made from the same dust as Jupiter, it is the largest planet because the planet that forms first can pull in the most dust, and the planet that pulls in the most dust will definitely be the biggest planet. The fun fact is that Jupiter is made up of the same elements that form a star, hydrogen and helium. In fact, our Sun is also made of hydrogen and helium. Jupiter just fell short in size, otherwise it would have been a star, and that's why Jupiter is also called a failed star, a star that almost formed but didn't. So that's the story of Jupiter's formation. Now let's fast forward the story to when humans observed Jupiter. Discovery of planet Jupiter. Jupiter has been discovered since ancient times because it is one of the 5 planets that are visible without a telescope. Yes, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn are 5 planets that we can see in the sky without a telescope. These planets appear like a large star, which is why ancient people had already seen these 5 planets and thought the solar system only had 5 planets. Jupiter was known to be a planet, but some facts were still unknown to people. The first person to observe Jupiter through a telescope was Galileo. In 1610, Galileo looked at Jupiter with a small telescope and saw its 4 large moons. Galileo was very surprised because it was the first time he realized that a planet other than Earth could have moons, and not just one, but many. The 4 moons of Jupiter that Galileo saw were Ganymede, Io, Europa, and Callisto, and these 4 are Jupiter's largest moons. So, we've seen Jupiter's story and its discovery. Now the remaining question is, why is Jupiter important? Does its existence or non-existence make any difference? If Jupiter didn't exist, there would be no life on Earth today. That's because Jupiter acts as a shield for Earth. Jupiter uses its high gravity to either throw away the asteroids that are about to hit Earth or pull them towards itself, which is why life exists on Earth today. If Jupiter didn't exist, Earth and the 3 planets near it would be constantly bombarded by asteroids. Jupiter protects the 4 planets ahead of it from asteroids. Now the question is, where do these asteroids come from? The answer is that most asteroids come from the asteroid belt, which is located between Mars and Jupiter. This belt contains about 1 to 2 million asteroids. According to a study conducted in 2021, the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs also came from the asteroid belt. Most people think that the asteroids in the asteroid belt are like raindrops, with one asteroid following the next. But that is not the case. If it were, no spacecraft would be able to reach Jupiter. There are millions of kilometers of distance between those asteroids. According to one estimate, the distance between 2 asteroids is about 1 million kilometers. If we look at Earth's diameter, it is 12,742 kilometers, meaning that 235 Earth-sized planets could fit in the distance between 2 asteroids. So, that was the importance of Jupiter. Now, let's move on to the characteristics of Jupiter. Characteristics of Jupiter. Jupiter is the 5th planet in our solar system, 5.2 astronomical units, AU, away from the Sun. If you don't know what an astronomical unit is, it is the distance between the Sun and the Earth, defined as 1 AU. So, if Jupiter is 5.2 AU from the Sun, it is 5 times farther than the distance between the Earth and the Sun. Sunlight reaches Earth in 8 minutes, but it takes a full 43 minutes to reach Jupiter. Jupiter's rotation is the fastest of all the planets in the solar system. While Earth completes one rotation in 24 hours, Jupiter completes one rotation in just 9 hours and 56 minutes, making it the fastest spinning planet in the solar system. However, Jupiter spins the fastest, but it does not have the fastest revolution. While Earth completes one revolution in 365 days, Jupiter's large orbit means it takes a full 12 years to complete just one revolution around the Sun. The interesting thing is that as the Earth revolves, its seasons change: summer, winter, spring, etc. But on Jupiter, there are no seasons. The temperature always remains the same as it has been since the beginning. Regarding Jupiter's size, its width is 11 times greater than Earth's, and 1,212 Earths could fit inside Jupiter. In fact, Jupiter has enough space to swallow all the planets twice over and still have room left. If you want to estimate Jupiter's size for yourself, take a grape in one hand and a basketball in the other. The grape is our Earth, and the basketball is Jupiter. Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system, and everything associated with it is the largest in the solar system, such as its magnetic field, its moons, and the largest storms. Jupiter is not associated with anything small. Everything about it is big. That is why Jupiter was named after the king of the Roman gods, who was the king of all the gods and the greatest among them. As I said, everything associated with Jupiter is big, like its magnetic field. Its magnetic field is so large that its size is 20,000 times greater than Earth's magnetic field, even bigger than the entire Sun, and its tail stretches for 1 billion kilometers, a distance almost equal to the distance between the Sun and Saturn. Scientists say that if Jupiter's magnetic field could be seen, it would appear as large as our moon in the sky. Earth's core has molten metal, which creates the magnetic field around Earth. The funny thing is that scientists still don't know what is inside Jupiter's core. Is there also molten metal, or is it a rock 10 to 20 times bigger than Earth, landing on Jupiter? As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, Jupiter is the most dangerous planet in our solar system, where a person would die before landing. So can an unmanned spacecraft land on Jupiter? The answer is no. Jupiter is a gas giant. There is no ground, only gases. For your information, our solar system has 4 terrestrial planets and 4 gas planets. Terrestrial planets are those planets where there is a proper surface for landing. This means the first 4 planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, are terrestrial planets, or you can simply call them rock planets. Gas planets are those planets where there is no proper surface for landing. Instead, those planets are made of either gases or ice and water. This means the last 4 planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, are gas planets, although Uranus and Neptune are now also called ice planets because they are mostly made of ice. Anyway, coming back to Jupiter, since it's a gas giant, there's no proper surface, only gases. The pressure of these gases is so high that if a spacecraft were to land inside Jupiter, it would continue to fall. But before it could reach Jupiter's core, it would either be crushed by the pressure of those gases or be vaporized by their extremely hot temperature. And this has happened once. Although 9 spacecrafts have been sent to Jupiter so far, the one that went inside Jupiter was Galileo. When the 2 twin spacecrafts, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, passed by Jupiter, they both reported that Jupiter has its own rings and discovered some new moons of Jupiter. Seeing all this, scientists thought, why not design a spacecraft that studies Jupiter's moons well and can also look inside Jupiter? Keeping all these things in mind, scientists designed the Galileo spacecraft, inside which they attached a small probe that they planned to land on Jupiter. As soon as the probe entered Jupiter's atmosphere, what did it see and what happened to it next? We will know all this in part 2 of Jupiter. If Jupiter Part 2 has been released, subscribe for more.